Please be seated. Good morning, everyone. As the year of 2015 begins and we return to school for a new term, this is a time which can be seen as a new beginning for many of us. I'm very thankful to have been given this opportunity to speak to you at a moment like this. Soon, we will all be stepping foot out of Appleby and into university as well as the society. What we all may be capable of doing in the future can have great impacts on the lives of others and even the world. Growing up, I have been impacted by many wonderful people around me, whether that was family, friends, or teachers. They have all made a difference in shaping who I am today. That is why I would like to share with you here some personal experiences of having been influenced and how significantly that has changed me. Hopefully, from these stories, you may find your own connections and reflect on how your experiences have influenced and changed you too. So here's the first story. My parents were both entrepreneurs and ran their own businesses when we were living back in Beijing, China. They have done many different things in life that have made great impacts on the lives of other people around them. But to me, the greatest impact they have ever made in their actions was their immigration to Canada with me 7 years ago. I was only in grade 4 at the time, and I did not understand what moving here was going to be like at all. I had no idea what this place called Canada was like, only the faintest sense of its landscape from my mom's vague description of, "They have a lot more trees than we have here in Beijing." I had not realized at the time why they suddenly wanted to move. Thus, I was completely unaware of how my life was about to be completely changed. Nevertheless, how greatly all this would affect my future. And most importantly, I did not comprehend the amount of sacrifices they were soon about to make for me. And surely, I could not have predicted that our immigration would cause our family to begin a separation that would last more than 7 years. The reason for my parents' decision to immigrate here was a simple one, and also one that demonstrated the endless capacity of parental love. They wanted me to have a good education. And in order to ensure my success here, my father has made the sacrifice of having to live alone in Beijing, China, in order to continue his business so that he could support my studies here, as well as the livelihood of my mother and me. My mother, at the same time, made the sacrifice of selling her entire business in Beijing, which she has built from scratch, in order to take care of me while I studied in Canada. Needless to say, my parents' decision to move here had life-changing impacts on me. Not only did they open numerous doors of opportunities for me, they have also made me realize so much about love, sacrifice, family, time, and also how great an influence one can have on others. I learned how, with a single action, there is possibility for thousands of things to be affected by it, just like the ripple effect. Since then, I have become very aware of how my actions can have all kinds of impacts on others around me, possibly even affecting their lives. And how important it is for me to be going about in my life, aware that I could be influencing others and trying my best to promote a positive effect on people. Now, there's a second story that I would also like to share with you today. It is a much minor event which has occurred in my life, but it has inspired major realizations concerning the same topic of influence. I was in grade 8 at Appleby when it happened. It was time for chapel on a Tuesday morning, and I was late because I had stayed after class to talk to a teacher. When I walked into chapel, everyone were already singing. So I quickly popped myself into an empty row that was away from the main group of students. It just so happened that the hymn they sang in chapel that day was "Draw the Circle Wide." And it just so happened that there is a line in the hymn that went like, "No one stands alone, standing side by side." Oddly enough, I was the only one in chapel that was standing alone. My situation at the time seemed fairly funny, other than being very embarrassing, as my friends have also come to notice that I was the only person that was standing alone while we were singing a song about letting no one be standing alone. It was like a perfect picture with a tiny glitch in the scene, and I was that tiny glitch. Although we were all smiling about it, I was praying. I regretted so much in my heart for being late and having to embarrass myself. I was praying for the minutes to go by as fast as they can and bring an end to my miseries. But that was when someone took a few steps towards me and brightened my day. At the time, there were only teachers standing in the column of seats beside mine, and Mrs. Kirkpatrick, who was my English teacher that year, was also there. She was so kind and understanding to have noticed my small suffering from embarrassment, and took a few footsteps to stand by me to end it. I was very touched by her actions, and afterwards, when I reflected upon the event, I became aware of the bigger difference she has made on my life with only a few footsteps. I have been graciously given kindness to, and it made me want to give kindness back to others, and to pass on that warm, fuzzy feeling I felt when someone helped me. It made me become interested in the idea of helping people and passing on such kind of spirit. Sometimes, it may not seem like a big deal when you are helping someone, as when I mentioned the story to Miss Kirkpatrick last year, she didn't even remember having done so. But having received many help from teachers and peers in my years at Appleby, I can tell you how significant one's influence can be on others' lives, sometimes with just a small deed. The changes that were made in me from the two stories I have told you shows how much the world around us can be affected by our actions. And hopefully, from today, we may all strive towards living our lives in the future to bring unto others positive and uplifting influences. Now, would you all please stand and sing hymn 418? Is that short? Is that very short?